Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, my number 6 is Planet Wars on the Xbox 360. It is an indie game. It actually originally was on iOS, but this is a port. I think it was on iOS like a year or 2 years ago. It's brand new on the Xbox Live indie game area, and I feared the worst. The box art title's Planet Wars, so there's a gruff marine there, as you'd expect. But if you look at the gameplay screenshot, it's a black and white pencil drawing. So I was like, oh god, this has potential to be god awful. It's really not. It's actually really, really good. I actually went and looked at. It's a one man band. I forget his name. Cole. The company's called Cole Powered Games. And there's a blog post on his blog saying we've just arrived on Xbox. It talked about the problems with porting it and this and that, and then he said, as a reward for reading this, here's some free code. So I thought, what a nice thing to do. So yeah, I've got the full version of the game. It starts with a cutscene and it's rendered in black and white. It's got kind of those thick, hard edges. Really well animated. It looks kind of like vaguely like the early the SimCity books. But the gameplay in between is actually it's a top-down shooter, and it's drawn in felt tip, and it somehow feels a bit more handmade than a lot of indie games, which says something. And it's if you can imagine a top-down shooter that supports up to 4 players in local co-op, that's Starship Troopers. So you're doing battles against these massive spiders and stuff.
All right.
The thing is, your weapons are quite underpowered. You upgrade them as you go on, but they're quite underpowered, so it's not about running around and gunning so much as being in the right place at the right time. There's a lot of strategic movement. You have to be you'll run in, and then because the enemies are so powerful, you end up backing up and making sure you're in the right position to do it again. So in that respect, it actually, in addition to how it looks, it really reminded me of something like, I can't believe I've forgotten the title of it, Super Nintendo, PC, Cannon Fodder.
Oh yeah.
Although it's not, fundamentally it's not the same thing, but just because of how much strategy is involved in the play, I thought it reminded much more of something like that. It's challenging without being frustrating. I don't know how it worked on iOS. I should imagine it wasn't anywhere near as good as it is with a pad. But yeah, I'm about 3/4 of the way through, and I'm like, wow, it's really good. I've done a little bit 1-2 player co-op, and it's just a simple 80 Microsoft points. Bit of sort of on the couch local co-op. It's just surprisingly good. I think I've explained it about as well as can be done, but
It sounds quite cool actually.
There's more to it.
It sounds quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the simplest thing in the world, but and the artwork is cool as well. It's there's a sort of a superfluous story that's reasonably well told, but the artwork is really nice to look at, and it's I was expecting the worst, but it's actually really, really tidy as a co-op game.
That sounds alright.
It is.
Planet Wars.
It's on iOS as well, but I can't vouch for that version because I think you need a pad.
Yeah, it sounds like you would.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, no, that does sound quite cool.
Genuine.